So hey guys, today's a new video, and before I get into the sasori showcase, keep in mind that I'm going to be doing the showcase separately for the combination card, and for the third Kazekage and this particular card, separately because right now I'm running out of time. I'm not exactly pressed for time, but I do want to get some sleep too. So sorry if this video is a little short. But before we get into that, as you can see here, the new version of Advanced Update Notice or Advanced Notice. So the polish system, basically what this means is that we're gonna get the ability to polish some items, and according to the percentage, most will increase their attributes by 20%. So that means that we get polished items, I guess, and that's good because we get more attributes. Seems a little weird, but it's basically a new system in place, apart from reinforcement, or something that will replace reinforcement. And what I mean by that is this particular system right here. When you, fortify, my bad, I'm sorry. When you fortify an item, you can either gold super enhance or fortify it just normally. So there's that. Then there's also a gemstone system. Each equipment can set 3 gemstones. A gemstone can add extra attributes for the equipment. So it looks like we're going to be able to get some really powerful gemstones, but you're going to have to get them from what is essentially the new version of Ninja World War, and I'll explain that in a second. But what these gemstones do, they give you extra attributes. So say, I'm not particularly sure of the system, but say right now, it's, to me, what it seems like it's going to be kind of like Ninja Souls, in which you get some extra not items, but attributes, nothing too big, but nothing too small, depending on the quality of the gemstone. Now, obviously, the weaker ones are going to be a lot easier to get, while the stronger ones are probably either going to cost gold, or they're going to cost, it's going to cost you to recharge, actual money. Then there's the Ninja Reincarnation system, and so basically what it says is that I'm sure you've noticed, excuse me, I'm sure you've noticed when you see sometimes on Facebook groups, if you're in some certain Facebook groups, you get a preview of the Chinese version of this game. And basically some cards like Itachi, like Madara, certain cards get basically combination card borders, essentially, with being only one card. So what this means is that certain cards will be able to, I guess, have a more advanced version of Diamond, with a new, or let's see, extra abilities. After Reincarnate, can get extra abilities, skills, and get exquisite dynamic border. So this is essentially the next system after Diamond. If you guys look over here, right over here, when you look at diamond cards, this one right here is sealed. Right now we can currently go all the way up to level 105 when it comes to level. But as you can see, eventually level 120 is supposed to open. So those are the cards that are going to be able to go all the way over there. Now, what are the requirements for this? I'm not quite sure just yet, but I get the feeling it may just be basically another diamond version of that particular card. Kind of like Nagato, in a way. Where to get diamond, you need to get another gold Nagato to train him up, to train up one diamond Nagato. To train up one gold Nagato into a diamond Nagato. So it may be something along those lines. And then you have the new National War system. So what they're doing here is they're applying something called the Akatsuki. And a few lucky players will become Akatsuki members. From what I'm assuming from that is basically, as in the show, Akatsuki basically was a mercenary group. Originally they were supposed to be evil, but to the general known public, they were supposed to be a mercenary group, which just did jobs for the highest bidder, completely separate from other elemental nations. Not sure if it's canon or not, but from what I can remember, that was supposed to be their original purpose. No, their original purpose was supposed to gather the tailed beast, but their cover purpose, I suppose, the way that they got money, is that they were mercenaries to the highest bidder. So basically, there's going to be people in the game who can become Akatsuki members. Now, I'm not quite sure what are the requirements to become Akatsuki members, but the perks of being an Akatsuki member seems to be very, very good, because each country can donate gold, and which country donates the most, the Akatsuki will help. So that covers that mercenary part of the Akatsuki. And so when the national war ends, Akatsuki members will get the donated gold. So either you're gonna get all of the gold that's been donated by the people, uh, by the what do you call it? By the whatever country donates the most amount of gold. Either you get all of it, everybody, each Akatsuki member. So say the elemental nation, the water nation, or country, whatever you want to call it. Water nation donates, no, hidden water village donates 80,000 gold, and there's 8 Akatsuki members. I know that's not the exact number. This is just off the top of my head bullshit, but they donate 80,000 gold. So either each member gets 10,000 gold, or each member gets 80,000 gold individually. So it's going to be interesting to see, but either way, if you become an Akatsuki member, you're going to get quite a bit of gold donated to you towards the end of the National War. If you become an Akatsuki member, I'm going to assume you're a very big pay-to-play player, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it seems to be as though the gold will be a slight bonus compared to what you normally have. Those are just my thoughts. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with pay-to-play. It's just something of note, basically. So they're taking away our choice also of choosing the country. So we won't be able to say, oh, I want to be in fire country, I want to be in water country. They're gonna do it randomly with, to me, big quotation marks. Yeah, I believe those are right. Yeah, but because they want it to be like each country, they want their strength to be equal. So it looks like what they're gonna do is like they're gonna get the top players and either measure out the CP and then even it out between all countries. So you can have a country that's literally just maybe 3 players, but those 3 players have, I don't know, 62 million, no, like 105 million in between all 3 of them. And right now, I think the top players can easily do that because, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I can get 39 million, and I think I'm one of the top players. And I'm not number 1, so let's say I'm number 3. The next 2 people will have, at the very least, a million more CP than I do. So we can easily just reach 120 million CP, just 3 of us. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out because, quite honestly, the curve, not the curve, but the gap between, let's say, the top 100 players and everybody else is very significant, honestly. You have people who are still in the 9-10 millions, and that's awesome because they're free to play, but that's exactly why they're so low in the CP scale right now. It's because they're free to play, whereas other people like me who pay to play, admittedly not recently, but in the past I have paid to play quite a bit. We are literally 4 times stronger, 3 times stronger, twice as strong as a free to play player. So it's going to be interesting to see how they distribute the people out for it to be equal and random. Okay, so refined contribution, National War Shop will not use contribution to buy the item. So basically they're going to put in a new currency. The current currency will be cleared, so which is contribution. So that means that you guys should really just get rid of your contribution that you have to your particular land. As you can see on Land of Water, I have 7,252 contribution. It's not a lot, quite honestly. It's mostly me just messing around in the Ninja World War, not actually trying too hard. So I'm sure there's people with more. And what that means is that it's going to be useless after this, so donate it, battle, do all the normal stuff. You're still going to get contribution, but it will decide the amount, your title. So basically, it will decide whether you're the Hokage, the Jonin, the Anbu. So the more contribution, it's going to decide how high up in the chain of command you are in your particular village, or at least that's how I'm taking it. It could also define, like, say the top 10 players or 12 players will be Akatsuki, and then everybody else will be in the in the countries. So it's going to be interesting to see how they implement that. Each player can only donate gold one time. So that seems to be a very important thing because once again, this kind of seems to favor the pay to play PvP players. Because uh, obviously, the more you pay, the more gold you spend in this game, well, money, the better you set up your team is, the more gold you're gonna be able to get per daily, every day. For example, like I said, I've said this many times, but I myself can usually get a minimum of 2,400 gold per day. Stack that up in 10 days, I have 24k worth of gold. Most people are not going to be able to compete with that. So if I wanted to donate, say, let's say an outrageous amount of gold, like let's say 100k worth of gold, then that means I'd be able to do that because of my unique position, because of the way my team is set up, the way Ninja World War is done, and all that sort of stuff. Which means that since we only donate gold one time, if I donate a very big chunk of gold, that means that I can get some very big attributes or some very big rewards. It just depends on how the system is in place, honestly. So now the four technologies, they're all going to be merged into one thing. It's not going to be just it's not going to be, oh, you need to put into ore, you need to put into wood, you need to put into all this different stuff. It's just going to be one attribute, and then that's going to update itself. So I suppose that depending on how the particular country does, it's going to go either up or down. Once again, it's going to be interesting to see how they do this because contributions, it looks like contributions, they're going to, depending on how much contribution overall the village puts in, that means the more people are more active in the village, the more, what's it called? The more active you are, the more contributions are put in total, and that means higher technology levels in total. So your technology level depends on how active your village is. So if you're unlucky and you have a dead village, for lack of a better word, then your village is not going to have a very high bonus towards your personal team. But if you're lucky enough to have a very active village, let's say Land of Fire, then you're going to have a high technology level. And for those of you who don't know, and I don't know why it took so long for me to say this, the higher your technology level, the higher boost that you get from the National War. Because you do get bonuses from the National War. You get some extra attributes. That's why some people have a little bit higher CP than others. So let's see. Kages can write the country notice after the National War ends. We'll get special rewards. So if you're the Kage, you can mess around with the notice. So if you want to put dick butt, you can put dick butt on your notice for your own specific country. Keep in mind though, it looks like because of the system that they have with contributions and everything, it looks like don't get too cocky if you become the Kage, because if somebody else has more contribution points than you do in your own country, they're going to become the Kage. So it looks like the highest person with the most amount of contribution during the particular period of National War is going to become the Kage, and if you become the Kage, you're going to get special rewards, and since it can switch back and forth, you're going to have to be careful with, say, somebody pulling one over you. So, and basically, you're in competition with the enemy villages, and then you're in a competition with yourself, because with your own village, because you always want to be top dog with contributions, and if you have a very active nation, that can be a problem. But if you have a nation that's like I said, a dead country, well, it's gonna be fairly easy for you to become the Kage. This is also favors like higher CP players because National War really is just PvP. Because the higher your CP, the more chance that means that you won't get taken down by the enemy. So that's just something to think about. And in the National War shop with the new currency, you're gonna be able to buy polish and gemstone items. So there you go. That's the update. Sorry that it took so long to get out of the way, but that's why I said a warning, I think, right before I started. So here we go with the Sasori showcase. Now, as you can see, Sasori actually has 5 items in total, those being the Core of the Living Flesh that goes in his boot slots, the Akatsuki Cloak in the cloak slot, Sasori's ring in the ring slot, puppet weapon slot, and then Hiruko in the jacket slot, I believe it is. They're all tier 4, and at tier 4, all of them level 105 minimum. They give them right around 2 million worth of CP, or 1.5 million, I believe. Right now he was at 3.2 million. And let's take all this stuff off. And as you can see, he's at 1.9 million. So yeah, so it gives him about 1.1 million in total for all of the items to be equipped to him. So the bonuses that you get from the items are not insignificant. If you put this on a purple card sasori, all of his items at these exact levels, you're going to get, once again, 1.5 million, 1.1 million worth of CP just because of the items. Which is impressive considering that Sasori is not the strongest when it comes to either skills, items, or just about anything. He's a fairly average card when you get down to it. For my personal opinion, I'm probably not going to be using him. I mostly got him for the sake of getting him. And for the collection that he's a part of. But, it's kind of like meh for me. So as you can see, he actually has 3 skins. His first training, that's Sasori, that's the way you're going to get him. His second training will be Sasori of the Red Sand, and once you get him Diamond or Gold, as a reward, you're going to get the Hellfire Formation. Is that called? Whatever that's called. You're going to get this skin, and that skin comes with a skill called Raging Fire Formation. There we go. Which says, cause serious ninjutsu damage to all enemies, and bleed injury the enemies continuously, and cut 5% of total HP for 3 rounds. So it's a very good skill considering that it's a rather weak card, honestly. And what it does, basically it gives you bleeds, it gives you life cut, and it gives you poison also, I believe. So it does quite a few effects, but as you can see here, so his items do have some skills that they get released whenever he releases his unique skill or per turn. So as you can see here, the Sasori's rank tier 4 at level 130, you get 93k, 92k stamina, 70k ninjutsu attack, and then if you equip it to Obito Uchiha or Sasori, you're going to get 30k ninjutsu attack, 39k ninjutsu defense, 42k HP. And you also release a skill called Akatsuki, which increases your dodge and hit for 2 rounds after you release your unique skill. So the bonuses are significant for either Obito or Sasori, and yeah, you just get some bonuses. Then you have the puppet tier 4. At level 105, you get 94k stamina, 41k taijutsu attack, and if you equip it to Sasori, you get an extra 15k taijutsu attack, 25k HP, and he releases a skill called Puppet whenever, that can chaos the front row enemies with probability for 2 rounds. And it looks like it releases it either every turn, every other turn with probability, or it releases it every unique skill. So we'll see that in a second. Then you have the Core of the Living Flesh, tier 4. At level 105, it gives you 122k stamina, 91k ninjutsu defense, and if you equip it to Sasori, he gets an extra 70k ninjutsu attack and 20k hit. Now, it can also cast a skill called Regenerate, and what it does, it just heals the card with the lowest amount of HP. That could be Sasori, that could be your puppet, that can be anything, but it heals the card with the lowest amount of HP every turn. Then you have Akatsuki's Cloak, level 120, 120k, 29k stamina to any card that you equip it to, and then if you have it to any of the Akatsuki members, they get an extra 85k HP and 110k ninjutsu attack. And they can release a skill called Akatsuki, which reduces damage that you take right before you take it. So if an enemy uses a ninjutsu attack on you and you release Akatsuki, you're going to take a little bit less damage than you normally would. I'm not quite sure by how much, but any damage that's negated is very good in my eyes. Then you have Hiruko tier 4, and this is a level 105 item, for me at the very least. At level 105, it gives you 39k taijutsu defense, 45k ninjutsu defense, 49k stamina if you equip it to any card. Now if you equip it to Sasori, he gets an extra 14k ninjutsu attack, 38k HP, and a skill called, doesn't say what the name of the skill is, but the skill, what it does, it causes massive ninjutsu damage to the front row enemies, and it has a chance to poison your enemies for 1 round after you release the unique skill. So, Sasori, surprisingly enough, has some very, very high bonus skills when you have him fully decked out with just his items. Now, his passives are called Performance of 100 Puppet. Basically, there's two versions of this. One which releases an AoE skill right after he does releases a skill right after he uses his unique skill, and then there's this one which releases his has a chance to release at the end of the active round and attacks in the line and poisons for three rounds. So basically like a Chidori for Sasuke, but as a passive skill. Let's see. Hit required summons a shield for yourself and your teammates in the front row and to block attack once for 3 rounds. And it's an okay skill, I guess. If you want to equip this particular skill, you need to have the puppet a bloodline, but you get that fairly easily. Keep in mind that it needs to be level 105. I'm going to be showcasing both of his passive skills, but just keep in mind that they're not the greatest things. So as you can see here, this is Sasori releasing his Raging Fire formation, and that he releases quite a few effects. He released Puppet, he released Akatsuki, Self-Healing, his Performance of 100 Puppets. He released just quite a large amount of skills, 4 or 5 I believe. Keep in mind that at the bare minimum, he will always be releasing 1 at the very least because of the regeneration. And at the most, he'll be releasing 2 skills every turn because of his passive skill. If you have both of his passive skills equipped, and if you don't, it depends on the passive skill that you have on your card. So as you can see here, the debuffs aren't exactly big when it comes to the enemy cards. Sure, they get damaged, but the biggest debuff there is actually the percentage debuff, which cuts away 5% of your enemy's HP, which, don't get me wrong, is quite good. It's just that at the end of the day, it's nothing too impressive. It's not something that you can use in the Tailed Beast, and his other his other skills. Like I said, they don't do that much damage. As you can see here, the bleeds and debuffs are only dealing about 90k worth of damage each time. 49k, I believe. So he's not the greatest card for DPS, but he's just a solid card all around. He does get quite a few bonuses because of the fact that I have collections that are open right now that gives him a big amount of stats extra. But that doesn't take away that he can do quite a bit of damage by himself, simply because of the percentage debuff that his skill provides. So if you can keep him alive for the entirety of the battle, he can usually take down just about all cards as long as he can dodge and stay alive because of the bleeds. Keep in mind, once again, this only works for the normal chapters and the heroic chapters. It doesn't particularly work for the Tailed Beast or the National War. Can Sasori be overclocked? As of right now, he can, but you still need to have Hashirama, and you need to have Darui and Orochimaru for the best, for the largest amount of damage you can possibly get out of the debuffs, and he himself doing damage. Honestly, though, he's never going to be one of those cards who are just amazing in the Ninja World War. So this battle should end in a couple of turns. He should win it, yeah, because of like I said, the HP cut. But so that's his passive skill performance of 100 puppets. It's just extra random skill that you can use every other turn, depending on how lucky you are. Then you have his other skill, which, let me find it. Let's see. Performance of 100 puppets without the passive, you know. So basically what it does, it deals massive ninjutsu damage to all of your enemies, and has a chance to release Red Puppet, which causes chaos, dizziness, decreased ninjutsu attack, and increases hit continuously for 2 rounds, and it doesn't need to hit. So basically this is, in my opinion, this is the better passive if you can only apply one passive to Sasori. The other passive is good because it does provide a shield, but it's so random that you can't exactly rely on it. So as you can see here, this is the secondary one, and it doesn't look like it does damage per se, but it does look like um, it has the ability to stun, chaos, and all that sort of stuff. As you can see, the back row didn't do anything for at least 3 rounds, so that is a potential thing that you could, apply to the Ninja World War for a stun lock. I'm not quite sure how often this is or how accurate, I suppose, or how constant it is, but it's interesting nonetheless. So yeah, and it looks like he's dealing quite a bit of more damage because of the debuffs from his other passive. So yeah, I mean, he's what, round 7, and he's dealing quite a bit more damage than before. Or I mean, I could be imagining things, but at least that's the way I see it. Sasori, once again, and I can't stress this enough, he's not the greatest card. He's never gonna be one of those, oh my god, it's a game changer cards. No, he's not gonna be like that. But he has so many passives, he has so many items, so many skills that he can release at one time that while he'll never be in the top 10 cards that you should get, he will always be a solid card to have in your team, no matter what your team is. Unless, of course, you have something like just pure combination cards or just pure PvP, PvE, no, P2P cards, like pay to play cards. So, I mean, he's free, even if he does take a bit to grind out. So, yeah. Not much else to Sasori really. He's good, but once again, not the greatest. And yeah, that's about it for the showcase part of this particular video. I'm gonna go ahead and do daily Q&A really quickly, and then I'm gonna end the video. So yeah, it looks like those stuns in the back row are not constant. They're a little bit random, so I wouldn't rely too much on Sasori to stun the back row in the Ninja World War. It could be a little tricky. But if you have nothing better and you have a diamond sasori for whatever reason, then go ahead and use him because it looks like he'll do more damage that way. Well, at least you have something that he'll do more damage. You'll have something that can stun if you have nothing else. Sasori is better than nothing, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, it looks like the battle is just about over. Sorry guys, I'm so sleepy. There we go. And the battle's over, 15 rounds. So, let's do daily Q&A very quickly. Gonna go ahead and do that. And lower the ringtone and just everything, kind of mute it. So I don't hurt you guys, your guys' ears. Don't want to hurt anybody or bother anybody, really. I know it can be a little annoying to have to, out of nowhere, just hear a bunch of shit. So here we go. Let's see what we have over here. First like and comment, bang, oops, I meant squirt. Nice, AJ. Great video. Thank you, Aaron. Harigomo is already in the Ninja collections for iOS. Collections. Let's see. I believe you, it's just that I'm looking quickly to see if there's any new collections that have been added. I don't think it's been added for Android just yet. It could be, like you said. I'm not quite sure what's up with iOS. Oh, there you are. Oh shit, I don't want to touch that. Those 3 question marks, because I get the feeling that it's gonna freeze my game, and just in case, don't wanna fuck up my app right before I answer questions. Love your videos, keep it up. Thank you, Serial Killer. What's the max equipment level? We all think it's 200. It could be more than that, but that's kind of the general consensus, that it is 200. Nobody really knows, to be completely honest. Hades. Why don't you monetize your videos? You can get money like that. Well, I mean, Kverse TV, I'm not exactly big enough to monetize it. I could, don't get me wrong. I know that's a possibility, but one, Keep in mind that this game has always been a little sketchy, in my eyes at the very least, with whole copyright issues. And then there's also the fact that even if I monetize the video, you guys are gonna get ads, and quite honestly, I'm maybe gonna make a couple of dollars per month, and literally maybe $10, $20 at the most. It's never gonna be something that's, oh, he's making 20K per what do you call it? Per year. No, it's gonna be, oh, he's making maybe $20 per year, 30, $40, because well, I appreciate the hell out of you guys. It's amazing that you guys watch these videos. It's still a very small amount, keep in mind, and it's not me complaining, it's just me stating facts. Maybe if I ever get to, I don't know, 10K subscribers and, I don't know, 30K views per day, maybe I'll start monetizing videos. But even then, it's a big maybe, because that means ads, and nobody really likes ads. But we'll see in the future. There was some thoughts about doing a Patreon, and I kind of just forgot about that, honestly. But we'll see how this works out. I mean, it's not as though I need the money. Keep in mind that buying things in this game is a luxury. It always has been, and it more than likely always will be. But it's just my personal opinion when it comes to all of that stuff. I know that's not exactly what you asked. So yeah, I can get to 56 on Ninja World War. I have Suzu Itachi and Gold Sasuke with India Naruto with Father and Son Auto Tier 4 ring. Hinata Gold Bronze Minato total CP is 14 million CP. So Nepali, Hinata doesn't do any damage, so she's not particularly useful to you in that. In Ninja World War, I'd recommend trying to get Hashirama, because he's going to be the one who really pushes you forward. Right now, at the most, it seems like you're right. That's all you're going to get to stage 55, 54. Although Itachi can stun lock the enemy team, once you get to the 50s, the amount of HP that the enemy cards have just increases dramatically. So at that point, you're going to need to have cards like Tobirama, the gold with his skin and passive skill Shadow Clone, and you're going to need Hashirama with his passive skill, or Darui with his passive skill. Hashirama is a little bit better and easier to get, simply because his all you need is a purple card of him for his Hashirama purple card, whereas Darui, you actually need to have him gold before you can use his passive skill. So Darui has a bit of a bigger bonus, I believe a 30% bonus to all the cards, whereas Hashirama only has a 15% bonus to all the cards. But once again, Darui is a little bit harder to get, whereas Hashirama is a little easier to get. How much what? Okay, so I only have like 2.5 million, and it's easy. I have Kuruma Naruto, the Naraka Path, Gold Haku, Suzu Sasuke, 100 Sakura, 6 Path Obito. By the way, I'm on new server 19. Nice, Hades. You're welcome. Thank you, Aaron. Thanks, Luis. After I saw it did what you said, B24-9, but I'm stuck on 25-2. Honestly, I think it's because I don't have enough DPS. Tried 5 times, and each time it went to a high round, and none of my cards die. Yeah, if none of your cards die high, Reapin, it just means that you need more damage. Really, that's the biggest reason. Sometimes it could be because the enemy effects, but more often than not, 9 times out of 10, it's because you need more damage. What's tenacity for? It just reduces the amount of damage that you take from skills from an enemy ninja. Like say Kuruma Naruto deals 1 million worth of damage without the tenacity. Now with 100 tenacity, he deals like 800k, 980k, right around there. What's the best skill I can get for Obito with 5k gold and under? So during his event, the best one you can actually get is his Kamui Lightning Cutter. It usually is rather cheap, but keep in mind that for that to equip it, you need to have a gold Obito. So, just save up, really. I know it sucks to do so, because at one point in time I was like that too, but that's really your best option at the end of the day. You can't just expect to get awesome skills with a small amount of gold. So it looks like that's really all the questions for now. It's mostly just replies and all that. So that's about it for this video. Hopefully you found it enlightening, whatever. I'm really tired, so I'm speaking with even more of a lisp than I usually do. So yeah, I'm gonna have to end the video here. So leave a like if you liked it, leave a dislike if you don't. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video. Bye.